Hello YouTube again, it's SL Auto aka Zulu Boy Mechanic with another job for you. So 2014 Ford Escape 2-liter engine. So I'm just doing brakes for the rear, both pads and rotors. I've already done one side, but I thought maybe I would show you how to do the other side. All right. So I have everything that I need here. So I've got my rotor. I've got both inner pad and outer pad. You can see they're slightly different right there. One has a groove for putting that spring. That's the inner one. And the one for the outer, there's just nothing right there. Okay, you can look at them again. Okay, so that spring is in place. And this one, the retainer for the outside on the caliper, that's right there, that retainer. And I have the piston tool here for depressing it. So that's the tool that you need to depress the piston. I've had some people before call me saying, hey, I'm doing my brakes, my rear brakes, and I can't push my piston inside. And I ask them, what tool are you using? They say, oh, I'm just using a C-clamp. And I'm like, no chance with that. There is no way you can get that piston in. It's a screw-on type, so it has to catch and then it can either go right or left. So that's why I have two of them in this kit. This one is for the right thread, that's for the left thread. There are some actually that go out. This one we're going in. And then I have my that's 7/8. That's just for tightening it here and loosening it. And of course I just need a flat screwdriver to remove that retainer. I'm just gonna go ahead here and do the job. Just gonna pop that out, place it down, and the next thing, just pop the covers behind. Okay, right there. And then I need my that's number 7 Allen. And I switch that the impact. Alright, so sliding pin is out and the second one also is out. So what I need now to do is just to pop the caliper out. And remember, you have your brake line here and your parking brake cable right there as well. So there'll be a little bit tension, but you have enough room to get this out without disconnecting anything. Okay, so just get your flat screwdriver in between. It'll be tight. Remember, the piston is still out, so a little bit tight, but you should be able to get it out. So if you're just coming out with a pad, that's okay. Alright, so the pads are right there. As I said, that's the inner one, and that'll be your outer one. Okay, just press them down. Rest that. And that's number 13 for the caliper bracket. Again, just grab my impact. Bracket it out. The rotor comes out. Okay. So at this point, I'll go ahead and push the piston inside. As you can see, it's all the way out. There's no way I can fit in new pads here. There's not much room, so I need to get that guy going inside. So how you place it, I have the adapter, which is from right there. That's the whole kit for most of the cars. Mazdas, Dodge, and some Hondas do use that. Ford, of course, some German cars, they use that as well. So that's the right adapter right there. You can try it. It should go on those two holes. Right there. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and put it on my tool right there. Then I have this plate, which helps me to apply the pressure. So put it right there. I don't know if you can see it here, but it's all in, but this is loose. So now what I need to do is reverse that big nut until it comes in contact with these two tabs of the caliper. Okay, from this point I will turn this one now clockwise. By doing so, the piston is going in, as you can see. It's going inside. So you want to keep going until it stops. So it's all the way in. I have plenty of room to put new brake pads. Then I'll go ahead now, use my wrench and loosen this so I can take my tool out. There you go. Now my tool comes out. That job is done. Next step, I mean, if this was rusted, and I'll use my air tool. If you don't have any air tool, I will show you some things that you can use. So I have two wire brushes here, so I'll go in between and just clean any rust. You want your new rotor to sit nicely onto the hub. But this car, there's not much rust. As you can see, I was able to pull out the old rotor without even pounding on it or anything. So it was a well job done. I think it was Ford before who did it. Okay. Next thing you want to apply, it's just a light coat for anti-seize. Right there, just use your finger, get it around, and making sure it doesn't go on your studs, because some of them, they have to be dry. Yes, there are some on semi trucks, some trailers, where you put a drop of some special oil. But these ones, they have to be dry. Always wipe your excess grease or oil on your fingers whenever you're doing brakes. Next thing, what I usually do is grab the caliper, push these sliding pins out, push them out. So I have both of them out. You see they're dry right now. You need to clean them a little bit and put some special lubricant as well on them, so come winter time they don't seize up, end up causing some issues on brake application. Okay, this is all clean. And then I have that grease for the sliding pin just applied. Slide it back. Same with this one. Apply. And get it in place. And the grease that I'm using actually is called Easy Slide. This is just as good as, it's dielectric grease. So if you have dielectric grease, you can use that. And it does actually say here, dielectric. Nothing really too fancy, but that's what you use for that. All right, so my next step now, the rotor has been cleaned. That coating that was used here has been wiped with some brake clean. So this is ready to go. Very nice. Put my caliper away. And with the bracket, the pads, they sit right there. So it's always good to wire brush that area. So just do it right here. All right, now I'll go ahead and install my bracket. Use my tool. then switch to my ratchet. I want to make sure it's all tight. It's probably about 50 foot-pounds or so. The next step is installing the brake pads. So as I said, this is the outer. So I'll go ahead and drop it in place. And the inner, you go ahead, slide it in place. Okay. I will set up my Allen for installing the caliper in place. Okay, so you want to push the sliding pins back and they're flush, and just bring this over and drop it in place. Just double check everything, make sure it's all nice. So you can actually, it's always good to start with the ratchet. But I'm just going to go ahead and start with this, but you just have to be careful. Make sure you don't cross thread if you're going to use any impact, and just go really slow. Okay, so I'll start with the top one. So that one is lined. Come to the bottom one. So go back. And that's good. Again, grab my ratchet and just check. Nice and tight. Check with this one as well. Nice and tight. And these caps, they actually protect the sliding pins. It's very important that you put them back, because if not, dirt, dust, everything will go in there. The next thing when you're trying to do this job, you have a nightmare. And I've been there before, and sometimes it might end up even costing you a new bracket. Unfortunately, you can't buy a new bracket alone. You have to buy as an assemble with the caliper. Now you end up paying, you know, about 200 bucks just for something that can be prevented by putting this back. And what I do is I just put some drop of that grease in there. Keep everything fresh, lubricated. And then I just put them back, cover. And the last thing to put will be the pin holder. So, I mean, if you don't have new ones, in case if you bought cheap brake pads, sometimes they don't give you this hardware, they sell it extra. But, I mean, if you go with ceramic, premium pads, they usually put it in. I've seen at some point where they don't put this back inside, you have to pay extra. So you can still reuse this one, there's nothing wrong with it. I've done that. I have the new one, so I'm just gonna go ahead and slide the new one right there. There's a hole for it, and then it goes over the bracket. Same here, goes in, and then just slide it over. And you want to just tap it in, see, it's all the way in. And then see, just check everything is sliding nice. So at this point, the job is done. You can go ahead and install the wheel, torque the wheels, and again inform the customer about coming back for a retorque. And once again, thank you very much for watching my videos, and may God bless you.